Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of your favorite podcast, Chiquis and Chill. Today we're joined by Farrah Abraham. Some of you may know her from MTV's Teen Mom or 16 and Pregnant. She's a TV personality, an author, a comedian, and more. We're going to talk all about life lessons, including overcoming trauma and letting go of resentment. This episode discusses some adult themes, so listener discretion is advised. Farrah, thank you so much for being on. I'm so excited to speak to you. How are you feeling? How are you doing today?
Well, thank you for having me on. And I am doing good. I'm a little hot in Kentucky right now. I'm at the Louder Than Life Festival with my daughter, Sophia. So I'm a hard rock mom. I'm a heavy metal mama right now.
I love it. That's so cool that you're doing this with your daughter. I love that.
Yes. I mean, it's a good time.
How old is Sophia now?
Yeah, Sophia is 16 and she's the same age I started 16 and pregnant. So it's just been a full circle year for us.
We're going to talk about that, but I do want to talk about, let's just get right into it. Are you good with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I know a lot of people have misconceptions of you. So I wanted to start off by asking, who is Farrah?
Who am I? I am the best person you're ever going to meet. I would say I'm known for 16 and Pregnant on MTV. And then I turned into a teen mom, and then a show called Teen Mom was created on MTV, and it turned into a global franchise. So they had teen moms in Poland and UK, all over. And I did that for a decade of my life. Mm-hmm. And then I continued on with like Celebrity Big Brother, X on the Beach. I don't even know, Couples Therapy. There's been so many shows, but then today I have started my own comedy career. So I'm the teen mom of comedy, of course.
I know, that's so cool.
Yeah. And I've just continued on with my books, being a New York Times bestselling author, oddly getting awards in like the adult entertainment space.
Yeah.
So there's just been all these facets of Farrah Abraham. So I don't think I could just answer it with Farrah is only was a pregnant cheerleader. She is a full-on living, happy, feminine goddess of Farrah Abraham. And that is me.
I love that, because that's where I was like, okay, I want to get to that, to the core of Farrah, because people can say so many things, and I understand because I've done reality television, and we expose our lives, but then we also open that door for people to just have opinions, and sometimes very negative opinions. And I'm like, wait a second, you don't really know who I am here in my heart, So that's, yeah. And to me, you seem really cool, easygoing. I mean, look at you. You're at a festival with your daughter, which I think is freaking awesome. You guys are like, that it reminds me of my mom. My mom had me when she was 15. She passed away. So I'm like, I know she would have been with me though, at a festival. Like we did a lot of fun things together before she passed. So I think it's amazing.
Yes.
And I just love to see how close you are to your daughter. I was looking at your Instagram and everything, and it's like, you're just like a cool mom. It reminded me a lot of my mom and I. But talking about your daughter, Sophia, now that she's 16,
yeah.
Can you like imagine her, being pregnant at 16? I mean, like, because I see my niece and she's 15 and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't have kids yet, but I see her and I'm like, oh my gosh, my mom was her age when I don't know. I see her like an innocent little girl,
Yeah. I mean, like, what do you think about yourself when you were 16 or 15? Would you think that you were ever ready to be, I don't ever think I was ready to be pregnant. So I think I got to say that.
Yeah.
But my daughter always looks at me like, she was asked the other day in her own interview, and they were like, could you imagine being like pregnant right now? And I think normally my daughter, Sophia, says, I look at my mom and like where I am, and I don't know how she did it. Mm-hmm. And I think like from rereading my own book that made me a New York Times bestselling author, My Teenage Dream Ended.
That's awesome.
I reread that version of Farrah, and I am damn proud of that girl who I once was, because it was actually very hard. And that's why I want to make it into a movie. I want to do a film adaptation. But no, I don't think my daughter ever feels like she'd be pregnant, get pregnant. I think that's like old school thought mentality that's like disconnected with where our society and our Gen Zers are. I believe our Gen Zers see the gaps in our constitution, the gaps
Mhm.
in our laws, the gaps in mental health, the gaps in
For
abuse. And
sure.
I think that is why it's allowed her to be softer. It's allowed her to enjoy her age. It's allowed her to not feel like she has to, go like I did. I mean, I started my own companies very young. I was in the newspaper. I was like winning invention conventions. I was always making more money than my neighbors on my own, like, I don't know, jobs that I created. I was hiring my sister to work for me, my neighbors to work for
Mhm.
me. And I just have to say, like, I felt like I needed to do that because I did not have the support. It always felt like I was like last, like so much so I wanted to make a point to my family that I was just going to wear the same tracksuit set of clothing every day to school. And honestly, I think that was the biggest lesson for everyone, and it got their attention. For one, my grandpa was sick and tired of washing the same clothes over and over.
Yeah.
Because I was over at my grandparents' house before school. And then the school called my parents and said, "Hey, Farrah's been wearing like the same clothes for like 8 days. What's going on?" And then like my friends were like, "Farrah, like, why do you keep wearing the same clothes every day?" Like, and I
Yeah.
just was like this person who was like, I don't care about fitting in, acting cool,
That's
appealing to
amazing.
people. I was very much like,
You always knew who you were.
yeah. And I just wanted to make points to my family who
Mhm.
seemed to be like so disconnected from their kids. And really, once I became so famous at 16, other children that were like extended on my half sister's side came into my job and told me more about my mom's history with her father. And I didn't even know I didn't know that that was my sister's father. And so
Oh.
there was this whole thing of, whoa, I was really blindsided growing up and I was never getting the full story. And I think I give the full story with my daughter.
You know what? And I think that's why, because you've been so open and everything, like you just said, the things that you felt were missing in your childhood, you're doing it with your own child. And I love that you're advocating and that you're bringing awareness. I feel like that's what it's all about. You turned something, to me, a baby's a blessing. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you weren't ready. I think we're never going to be fully ready to have children. But you made
Yeah.
it like happen. And that's admirable. My mom was 15, but she had that hustle, and you have that same hustle, and I think that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for your mom. I also wanted to say this is what's really crazy. Like what you're saying is like, I don't think we're all ever really fully ready. And I think that's why I look at it as like, and I know that because no matter what age, people are really, really, truly trying to figure out their health, their
Mhm.
balance, re-identify with this new identity of themselves. And that is a human cycle of parenting. If
Yep.
you actually watch Teen Mom, you would be highly more prepared at whatever age, any age that you
Mhm.
have your child, because you see the good, the bad, the health concerns, the health risks, all of these variants, and you can really overcome hurdles. So if you don't like reading books about parenting, you can certainly watch a lot of TV shows on parenting.
Yeah, because it's real, it's
It
like it
is
shows everything that's raw, you know? And
literally.
yeah, yes. And I love that. That's how I learn. I'm like, I need you to tell me the truth, because I've been through, this is completely different, but like, I'm like, no one ever told me how hard IVF is, it's like, it puts you through a lot. I want people to really talk about it. So I see your point. And I know you've also been through a lot. You also educate on sex trauma.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So after my celebrity sex tape, I gotta just quote it like that. Like a
Mhm.
private tape that ended up being a public spectacle that was sensationalized of my sex life. But it actually it taught me to have more agency over my consent, number one, agency over myself, but
Mhm.
also making sure and changing the environment in which I hang out with people or have any like influence or peer pressures. So I think from having that spectacle of my intimacy life in a very dark time of my life, just to put it into perspective for everyone. At that time of my life, I was much younger. I didn't sound like this, didn't have the words or the therapy. And I could
Yeah.
not put into words what I was experiencing. I was in like a cycle of bereavement because of the depression, because of the anxiety disorder. And I also didn't know my own disability at the time. So shout out to everybody who's neurodivergent and no one helps you but traumatizes you. So I did not know that with my disability, which is ADHD, so ADHD with inattentive disorder. And when you have a trauma and a loss that is not fully grieved, on top of other people abusing you or saying, hey, I'm this way with you, but then they go, it's like a friend that's behind your back, right? And I think like people saw that in 16 and Pregnant with my girlfriend saying like, oh, she's pregnant. And I didn't tell her that that was okay to say to anyone, and a cheerleading team. And then I got kicked off the cheerleading team. And then I have someone who went, a male that went the next day and just had his own press conference without my consent, trying to ruin my career, all this other stuff with the sex tape.
Oh my goodness.
So I think what I'm saying is overall with sex trauma therapy, I highly recommend it. Many women never can get to a tool set and a mindset to see clearly that I don't need to fully blame myself for what I put myself into. I need to just say, hey, this is where I screwed up, but this is where these other people screwed up. And I think most of the time, women in general and or men, if they're in the same position, are always blaming themselves for the entirety of other toxic, abusive people's situations. And I used to do that with my mom. I used to do that with many other people who were abusive to me. And I think when I got to sex trauma therapy, it started working on my perspectives and my knowledge of saying, why are you okay with all this abuse that's in society that you're around? Why are you allowing it? And I think that's when I just started cutting people out of my life, cutting them off, no notice.
Do you feel now that you have forgiven all of these people that put you in these situations? How do you feel about that? Because I'm really big on forgiveness. So I know that forgetting is one thing, but forgiveness, do you feel like you've let that go and you've learned what you needed to learn?
Yeah. So I believe you can't expect unwell people to be well. And that's also what they say at the trauma center. You cannot look at an unwell person anymore, whether that's your friend, family, or whoever, and you just need to say they're unwell. They're unwell people. Yeah. I was fantasizing life. I thought you could be well, but that's on me. I need to put some new eyeballs on. And I'm going to stop fantasizing life. I also believe when people say forgiveness, right? We all have forgiveness. We all want to forgive. But the biggest thing that I needed to work on was resentment inventory. That has been the organization and the clarity for me to just literally face anything and everything that I deal with in that day. And I let my resentments go. People always put forgiveness on a pedestal, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I used to say the same thing. Oh, I forgive. Well, then you let the creepers creep back in. So it's just, you can't expect, you can't expect unwell to be well. I'm going to do my resentment inventory. I'm going to sleep like I've never slept before because of this. And I know exactly what I'm doing, and I journal and I move on. So I don't keep track of everybody who hates me. I definitely don't keep track of anybody who I disagree with. I'm actually pretty fearless. And I think once you live your life by the 12-step principles, it is not just about alcoholism, if anyone's confused. It is about living your life as close to your faith as fearlessly as possible. And when I walked into the intensive trauma healing center, I saw on the nightstand there a fear inventory sheet of all the fears that we have. And our job coming into there was to overcome all of those fears by having organization and clarity within. And I committed myself to that. So if anyone else could share that with you, it will change your life forever.
Yeah, you guys, this is great. This is awesome. I love that you're sharing all of this, because there are things here that I wasn't even aware about. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
If you had the chance, if you could do it all over again, do you think that you would go on 16 and Pregnant again?
I definitely would. Yeah, if I would have known that my daughter's father was going to die and tragically, I definitely probably would have signed up sooner for the show, knowing I have no way of making money. No, that was an act of God. I think the
Yeah.
show, and in the end, even if I didn't like the producers, they didn't care about me. I was just like used and abused for storylines.
Yeah.
I have to say, thank you, God, for giving me an endless TV show income stream and endless opportunities. But I will say, I would sign up again for it anyways, even if he were alive or not alive, because the gift that I have gotten from television is having, I guess, friends, but stranger friends, wherever I go in this universe, whether I'm crossing the border of Mexico, I'm in Amsterdam, I'm over there in Dubai. Everybody recognizes us. And I have to say, that is love. Like, wow, I
Yeah.
went through torture to really actually have a lifetime of love and be closer and open my eyes to diversity and culture. And I think, if
Yeah.
anything, being a closed minded, I don't know, I feel like abused middle of America, Iowa girl, I think that is the biggest gift of life. And so I'm really grateful to God.
And what about OnlyFans? I
Yeah.
know you're on OnlyFans. I've talked to my husband about it, and I'm like, "Hey dude, you can make a lot of money. Is this true? That you can make a lot of money on OnlyFans?"
I've made a lot. I mean, I can only answer for me. I have made a lot of money.
How long have you been on OnlyFans?
So I've had an OnlyFans for 6 years, almost going on 7 years. And
Ooh.
I think that was just kind of like my saving grace as I'm getting my college degrees done, as I was wrongfully fired from Teen Mom. And I was
Mhm.
just like so tired of negativity. And I like love that I could control a page. And it's either you're all positive, you're showing some self-love to me, because I really needed self-love back in the day. But now I know self-love comes with from within. And I've had, just like beautiful relationships of like knowing and meeting people, and like men improving their marriages, losing weight. And I think like I never would have guessed, again, it's such a gift. Like I never would have guessed I would have played a part in anyone's life to that degree. And so I'm just happy if I can help people in a positive way.
And you talked about the sex tape earlier, and I
Yeah.
know that A&E's Secrets of Celebrity sex tapes came out. How was that? Like, to revisit that moment in your life?
I feel like everybody asks me about so many moments around that, and they never kind of really get into the point. And I think
Mhm.
like I loved us talking in the beginning, because that's really the point. That's really like opening our eyes and
Yeah.
not letting other people, kind of take advantage or have non-consent culture with your own life. But I think being a part of Secrets of Celebrity sex tapes was needed. I don't know if anyone else got to see other episodes, but it almost like broke my heart. I had no idea Colin Farrell had a sex tape, but Colin Farrell had a sex tape situation. And it just basically shows like that girl disappeared off the face of the earth. And like he is over here continually doing movies. And there was another male actor who till this day is doing movie or shows and movies. But I just can't find where these women are. And I think when I'm watching my episode of Secrets of Celebrity Sex Tapes, I feel like I am so proud of myself, because I'm like, no, I'm not letting the toxic male beast overcome me and tell me I'm not going to have a career anymore. I came right back to television. I continued on with my career. And when I take breaks, it's my taking breaks because of all the trauma I've had, and in a healthy way. But I enjoyed seeing it. I do love that Dr. Jen was in there. She helped me do my first sex trauma work, actually, and had me continue on with that. So I always love her perspective, her just like overarching, like looking at it. I think she was the most compassionate, most like empathizing, so that way other people know like you need to actually like see the full picture. You need to connect and empathize with somebody else's shoes that they're walking in for you to actually know what's going on. Because I think that's
Mhm.
why people sensationalize, miss the whole point, and then just, I don't know, act blindly. And I
Yeah.
think I used to be like that too. So I understand. But seeing things for what they are is a really nice, and it makes my life easier.
Mhm. For sure, and you were able to set the story straight because, you it was your experience and how it happened, and not what people, um the stories they may make up in their mind. So
Yeah.
I thought it was great that you were able to say, "Hey, this is how it happened," and you're also helping other people. Like you said, both men and women, because usually, for the most part, people think it's women, but also it happens to men as well.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so Farah, tell us now what you have going on. I know you're doing a whole lot. I know, are you still on tour with comedy? Which that's something that I think is amazing that you're doing. So tell me a little bit about that, about your comedy career.
Yes. So comedy career has been a little affected by the, I guess, educational abuse that I've been under. Sadly, I worked so hard to just like be able to get ready to go on a comedy tour. And then my school started holding me back for
Hmm.
this whole year. And it got horrifically worse and worse. So comedy got put on hold. And I don't think there's ever a rush to comedy for one. But I think
Yeah.
I did my job in doing the comedy when I did it because it helped other women know how to use their voice, know how to talk about really tough subjects and make light of
Yeah.
it and show like healing. So
Mhm.
either way, comedy is still going to go. The Diary of a Teen Mom it's always working. And after I get through some hurdles, I am so excited to just kind of actually more focus on a comedy TV special. I am such a TV personality that I will have to go just do my own comedy TV specials, just like I do with every other TV show, like with Annie or
Mhm.
anyone else that I work with. And that is just the Farrah Abraham in comedy. That is this teen mom in comedy.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to have that freedom, get everyone together, have a huge, amazing night with people, and really just take
Yeah.
it up a notch. But yeah, like Angelina from Jersey Shore, she was just like, girl, me seeing you do that was like, I could use my voice. I can do this. And I think
Mhm.
that is all I really want people to know is your voice, whether you're a girl, guy, boy, anything you are, your voice actually truly matters. Your perspective matters. So go ahead and share it. But a lot of people
Yeah.
can't handle moms in comedy because we do dark comedy. They get a little scared.
I love dark comedy. I love it. I love it. And I think it's great because I feel like comedy is therapeutic. Like
Oh,
when I,
yeah.
yeah, and I think that's probably why you love it so much. And I think it's, yeah, bring light, bring some funniness back to the world, guys. We need it
Yeah.
now more than ever. So I can't wait. I think I see that for you. A show would be great.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'll be watching.
Maybe you stop by. You stop
Yeah,
by.
absolutely. Yeah, I will. And Farah, thank you. Thank you for coming on. I loved the conversation. I know you're at a festival. I think it's super cool that you're like, hold on, I'm gonna go do this. So thank you. That's very professional of you. So I appreciate it. Is there anything else that you would like to add? Anything that I didn't ask you? Anything that you want to leave people here?
Yeah. So something fun that I'm looking forward to, for one, I'm writing a new memoir. So after my teenage dream ended, I now get to write about this huge life that I've lived, not just the very beginning with everyone. And I think I can't wait to do that second memoir. Also, Sophia has started to write her own first book, which like melts my heart. And I think like that is overdue. Like we got to see Honey Boo Boo kind of do a biopic. So I would love to see Sophia do her own biopic, do her own book, and really like, because everyone was just kind of giving like a newborn baby their voice. And again, not
Yeah.
really hearing it. So it's just time to check in with everyone, and we cannot
Great.
wait.
That's great. I tell Sophia I'm very proud of her. That's amazing. So thank you, Farah. Enjoy the festival, and I can't wait to see pictures on Instagram.
Yeah, we're going to go wild. She just crowd
Yeah.
surfed last night. So it was
Oh
wild.
my gosh, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
so cool.
Thank you so much. I will
Thank
see you.
you. Well, guys, that was Farah. She went back to the festival, and I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. It was awesome, very interesting. I learned quite a bit, and I hope you guys did too. And yeah, I will catch you on the next episode of your favorite podcast, Chiquis and Chill. This is a production of iHeartRadio and the My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcast and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.